It's a trend that many parents are not even aware of.
A surge of 150 cases in just the past week.
There's a perceived harmlessness with this.
I didn't think that little pod could do so much damage.
This morning, Missouri officials are reporting the first recorded vaping-related death in the state.
They gave Juul packages to celebrities for as little as $1.
Juul bought ad space on well-known youth websites.
Now it's moved to students vaping in hallways, vaping in classrooms.
When people say the long-term effects of vaping are not known, that's true.
That's true. That's a true statement.
And how do you sit here and sell it every day? Aren't you selling first and asking questions later?
Light up for lucky. It's light up time. Be happy, go lucky.
Ads such as these, featuring the promotion of cigarettes, were everywhere to be found stemming back to the 1870s. Whether it was on a poster, or later down the line with nationally televised commercials, you were sure to be reminded of the luxurious pleasure of a cigarette. These promotions, utilized by big tobacco companies, were allowed to be nationally published until 1971, when it became illegal to advertise tobacco use on television. Despite this, you may notice some stark similarities with today's vaping ads. The images used to sell cigarettes and e-cigarettes alike are done so with cool personas, young faces, rich happy couples, and some with the claims that doctors support their product over all others. A unique factor to vaping advertisements, however, is the supposed purpose of being an aid to help cigarette smokers quit. Currently, there is no law regarding the promotion of e-cigarettes. And with a generation that's known for the mass consumption of media, it's a dangerous combination.
All right, just introduce your name and then tell us how long you've been addicted to vaping for.
All right. My name is Emma, and I have been addicted to vaping for 5 years now.
Hello, my name is Katie. I've been vaping for about 6 years now.
My name is Christopher, and I have been vaping for, I'd say, probably about 5-6 years.
I currently use Juul. I've used Juul for the past 6 years.
The current brand that I'm using is an Elf bar, but I switched from Hides, Juuls, Breeze bars, Puff bars, but right now I'm on Elf bar.
I've tried a lot, especially if it was popular at the moment. Sorens, Badges, Junos, Fix, Juul, all the disposables, Puffs, Elf, everything.
Do you remember how old you were when you first hit one?
I think I was 15.
And where were you?
I was at the Maple Festival in Sugar Falls.
Do you remember the device's brand?
It was a Juul.
Had you ever smoked a cigarette before this?
No, but I haven't now either.
I was probably 14 when I hit my first vape.
Where were you when this happened?
I was in my high school bathroom.
The first time I tried one, I think I was about 15 years old. It was in a bathroom at school, and it was a Juul.
Had you ever smoked a cigarette before this experience?
No, not beforehand.
How old were you when you bought your first vape?
I was probably around 15 or 16. I bought my first one.
Like 16.
17 years old. It was at a gas station.
And how did you get it, considering your age?
That from a friend.
My friend. She bought it for me.
I walked right in with confidence, and I said, "Give me that Hyde bar, mint," and he gave it to me without asking any questions.
Have you experienced that commonly within gas stations?
Yes. Most gas stations, depending on the person you get, or honestly how confident you are when you walk in, you will usually be able to walk out with a vape.
Have you or do you feel a sense of community from vaping?
I feel a sense of community from vaping at the utmost level. When I don't know what to talk about, I hit my vape. When everyone else is hitting their vape, I'm hitting my vape. When no one is hitting their vape, I am hitting my vape. I do it with all my friends. Every single one of my friends vapes. So, big community.
Yeah, yeah, you make a lot of friends through it. Someone's got one. Oh man, can I hit that? Oh, I'm Chris, by the way. Oh, blah blah blah, and then you make a friend.
Absolutely. Especially when I was in high school. You're all in the same boat. You're all addicted to the same thing. So after maybe you had a hard day after class, you go into the bathroom, bunch of girls in there, and they all have vapes. You kind of bond over it. You all rant together. You all hit each other's vapes. And I've actually made quite a few friends just from that alone.
Do you believe that school was an outlet for nicotine?
Absolutely.
How so?
School bathrooms. Everybody's got one in there. If you wanted one, you wanted to hit one, you just go to the bathroom.
News travels like wildfire in a school. One kid starts to get a vape, eventually one kid starts 15, and it all kind of spreads. So I think that kind of really started it in 2016 when Juul became a really big thing.
I think vaping became popular because at the time when we were all 15, everyone in my class, it was just like so broadcasted towards our age. And as soon as one person got one, everyone else had one. I know the first reason I got it was because everyone else was doing it. So
with each individual I spoke to, I gained more insight into where their addiction started. And the answer proved to be the same: school. With this showing to be a consistent variable, I decided to speak with someone who has truly seen the depths of vaping in youths. My old high school's assistant principal, Mr. Polis.
What year or series of years do you think you saw the most evidence?
Ooh, I would say over the last 5 years. I would say it's been growing. First, about 7 years ago, it was definitely relevant, and it has just gotten a little bit more and a little bit more each year.
What do you remember from your first finding of a student with a vape?
Denial. I just remember, the first one I ever caught was in our parking lot. And, it wasn't me. It's not mine. I was just holding it for somebody. Those type of ridiculous answers.
Do you remember roughly when this was?
Yeah, probably this is my 8th year of being the assistant principal, so about 8 years ago.
For years as a faculty member here, have you ever witnessed such a large-scale epidemic of substance abuse like you have with vaping?
No, I haven't. I've never had an issue with cigarette smokes. I think that's kind of dead and gone. Well, not necessarily dead and gone, but gone. But vaping is a huge, huge problem. I think it's a problem that's nationwide in all the high schools. I went to Myrtle Beach this summer, and I didn't see a 15-year-old walking around that wasn't vaping. And I just thought that was really disturbing.
How do these interactions normally go down when they realize that you've actually caught them?
Well, like I said earlier, they usually start to lie. They usually get really nervous and tell me it's not theirs. It's the first time they've ever tried it. They've never done it before. They got it from a friend. I've had people tell me that, I was just, as they're holding the vape pen or whatever it may be, tell me, I was just, I found this on the floor in the bathroom. I was just picking it up, looking at it. I was going to throw it out, one time someone tried to tell me that they weren't vaping as the vape, I don't know what you call it, steam or whatever, vape came out of their mouth as they were talking to me, telling me they weren't vaping. So all kinds of things.
How often have you had to have those conversations?
I have those conversations about once a month. I've only expelled one kid in 8 years for vaping.
What are the most common brands that you have found?
Well, this year it's been Breeze, so I'm not sure. The Juul has been the big one. All right. A drag bar is kind of new this year. I haven't seen this one, so. But the Breeze and drag bar are the ones I got this year so far, but Juuls have been probably the ones that I have seen the most.
And then lastly, in your opinion, do you think cigarette companies directly targeted youths with their products and advertisements?
100% yes. They did it a long time ago with cigarettes. They're doing it with vape. They want a lifetime customer. A person my age at 47 years old is not going to buy a vape pen and get addicted to nicotine. A person that's 14 years old, that's impressionable, will buy a vape pen, a Juul, or something like that so they can be cool amongst their friends. The nicotine is put in there to get them addicted. That's been proven. And now they got a lifetime customer. That's what they're looking for. They can care less about your health. They can care less about your well-being. All they care about is taking your money, all right, and so that you can be a lifetime customer. That is their goal.
After hearing from everyone, I leave you with one question. Can you really consider vaping a quitting aid when the primary customer has never picked up a cigarette?